Hello, good afternoon. Happy to be back. This is Olufemi Omodara speaking to you from my heart, sharing my experiences as a mother. Now I'm a grandmother, and I honestly hope that it may not be all my messages, all my videos, but I hope that at least maybe one will minister to you. And I honestly hope that not just that it will minister to you, that you learn something that you can use in raising your children, or maybe wisdom that you can pass along to your grandchildren or to people in your circle. So anyway, today I would like to talk about, honestly, a lot of things came to my spirit. I was like, I wasn't sure what to talk about, but today I honestly think I want to talk about when children go to college. And this is a good time to talk about that because we're nearing the end of another school year. We have a lot of children that are getting ready to go to college. When my kids were younger at that age, I was involved with their decision making as far as college, not just me, my husband and I. It wasn't so much that, oh, this is where I'm gonna go, this is what I'm gonna do. We came together, we talked about it, we counseled them. My middle one, she was really into her music. She actually didn't want to go to college, and I think I've talked about this before. And I'm thankful that she went to college, and it's not even about bragging but the fact that God has so blessed her, she's really smart, and she just didn't want to go to college. So we sat her down and we're like, you know what? If music doesn't work out, this will be a plan B. So those kind of counsel is honestly what we need to help our children with because they feel they're adults, 18, you're told you're an adult, you can make your own decision, you can go to whatever college you want to, but it's always good. Especially I know that as African parents, we don't just financially leave our children, we want to be there to support them financially. So if you're supporting that child, it makes sense that you have a say in, not like you're controlling them, but at least counseling them and guiding them. I think that's the word. Counseling and guiding them, most importantly, guiding them and praying with them. One thing that I find that a lot of our people do, because I would always tell my children, I didn't grow up in this climate. My husband grew up in this climate. So there's some things that I'll default to him and say, I don't know the answer to it, but oftentimes most of us did not grow up here. Husband and I, we came from Africa, and so this is new to us. So I think that we should learn along with our children, especially because we don't know it. Because if we don't learn along with them, then we'll leave them to do all the learning, and we'll just take whatever they say, which as parents, I don't think that's good enough because we need to be involved in what they do. And so when they leave for college, assuming your child goes out of state, I personally don't have any problem with that. My two older ones rather, they went out of state. But I think that if your children are going to go out of state, you have to stay involved in their lives. You can't just have them go away and you don't know what's going on with them. A lot of schools have parents' weekend in October. Try to first of all, go with them the first time they go to school. Or even when they're scouting for that school, make sure you go on that trip with them, however many you're able to go with them, so that you're part of that decision making. And then eventually when my oldest went, we all went as a family. When my second went, we all went as a family. When my third went, she stayed in Phoenix. We all went to ASU together. We rented an Airbnb in Tempe. We didn't even stay in Goodyear. So, and I think that does help them when they see that it's a family affair. Everybody is involved. That shows good support system for them so that if they ever have any issues, you're there with them. And I'll tell you, my oldest, when we took her, the day we left, when we left her, she cried. I cried. Seeing her cry just broke my heart. I cried till we got to the airport, and I felt bad. I was like, wow, a part of me was left behind in Spokane. And we didn't see her again till Thanksgiving. But she came home for Thanksgiving, she came home for Christmas. And I really think that if they're gonna go out of state, we should know for a fact that we're able to bring them home on a regular basis because honestly, it's not easy. And my kids, like my oldest was 17 when she went to college. She wasn't even 18 yet. And I remember my experience when I went to high school, I was 10 years old. So it was a difficult transition for me. Now, so we did that. So they came home, we went to visit. Because the reason why that's important is if we don't do that, they've left home. And if we just leave them, they're there for the next 4 years. They can make decisions, they can do whatever. You're not involved. Don't expect that when they eventually come home after college, then if they've changed and you see they've changed and you say, who are you? What happened to so and so that went to college? Because you were not there along the journey with them. So it's very important that we stay in the loop with them. We stay connected to them. This is the other thing that we did, because they were so, like the first two were so far away from home. We started this with my first. I think we started this with my second, actually, when my first eventually moved away from home, I believe. Then we started the weekly phone calls. We had family, not meetings, family, family socials, family fellowship. Oh my gosh, we had family fellowship on the phone, and it didn't matter how long it lasted. We would have like highs and lows, and then we would pray about it. Like if you had a difficult week, if you had a good week, you talked about it, and then we had a moment of prayer. So that helped the whomever was out of home, out of state, away from home. That helped them so that they didn't feel so far away, or they didn't feel distant from the family, especially emotionally. It was a good way to connect as a family. Now, when my second went to college, I felt she was strong. I was like, oh, my oldest one, she was very emotional, like I was when I went to high school. That girl did not cry, okay? In my mind, I was like, wow, she's emotionally strong. Tell me why, like 6 weeks later, when I was supposed to visit, it was parents' weekend, that girl called. She cried for like 3 hours. She was like, I want to come home. Can you not come? Can we switch? I was like, what? You know, I did not know. She masked everything. So it just goes to show you that children are different. So please read your child properly, because some children are not expected to and are not supposed to go out of state. And they go out of, anyway, long story short, she came home every month. That first year, every month, that girl was home. Thankfully, we were able to afford it. So that's why I said, read your child, know what they can take and what they cannot take. Or at least if they go away and you see that it's a difficult thing for them, it's okay to bring them back home. But just stay connected, stay involved in their lives. It's very important, because again, emotionally, they need that support. They might, like my second, act like they're strong and they're not strong. Now my youngest, she wanted to go to UCLA, but UCLA didn't happen, and she was so distraught. And we kept saying, apply to ASU. She's like, I'm not gonna go to ASU, I'm gonna go away. Thankfully she did. So she stayed in Phoenix, and the plan was for her to stay in Phoenix for the first year. But after the first year, she fell in love with ASU. So her, the family thing, we didn't do that first year because we assumed that ASU was just a temporary thing. She was gonna go to California the next year, and then we'll do it as a family. So her second year was when we had that family support system, and we stayed in Tempe all together. So I hope this has helped you, that to kind of give you an idea of when your children go to college, some of the things that at least I did that helped me, and I know that it helped my children, that support system, emotional support, financial support. Don't just leave them there. I mean, if they're within the city, you can surprise them with food, surprise them with lunch, surprise them with early morning visits, or whatever it is, just to support them. And that first year, my youngest, she would come home on Thursday. I would take her back on Monday. And this was somebody that wanted to go to California. So again, every child is different. Read that child and take note of what they're able to handle emotionally, especially. But anyway, thank you for coming along today. I hope this has helped you. Let me know. Some people have reached out to me. If there's something, if there's a topic you would like me to talk about, please feel free to give me a call. Or if you don't have my phone number, you can reach out to me on YouTube. More and more, I'm getting questions or like information about marriage, and I'll try to talk about that using myself as an example. And let me know what your questions are. If I'm able to answer them, I'll answer them. If I'm not, we can pray together. We can hold hands and pray together. Thank you for coming along today. Please like, share, make a comment, and God bless you. See you next time. Bye.